Good afternoon. You're just in time for KBC's Lunchtime News. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom of the screen is Caroline Joroge. And of course, our keen focus will be on President William Ruto, who is currently attending the UNGA Summit in New York City. When we get those details, we'll be telling you more. But to more news now, the Nyeri National Polytechnic has a fully implemented modularized competence-based education and training curriculum in line with the Ministry of Education's directive. According to the institution's chief principal, Dr. David Mwangi, the program is set to provide flexible learning in modules, allowing students to progress seamlessly while acquiring hands-on skills tailored to specific job markets. He says the more than 1,900 new learners who reported this semester have already begun their studies under the modular program.
We have slashed and packaged our curriculums and occupational standards in a way you can come here for 3 months and you go home with a certificate. If you want to do tailing alone, come and do tailing and you go home. If you want to bricklaying, the same. That's how simple we have simplified our training. And we are saying we must make training enjoyable to the youth. Nobody wants to be here for 3 years or 2 years waiting for a certificate.
The skills we are learning here, they are helping us even to handle the kind of shapes we have here. You know the head of the animal, you know how you handle your animal, so that even the skills you get to harvest the fleas, you're able to manage and how to use it.
Yeah, so happy that we as agricultural trainees, so that we can get the experience from our trainees, our trainers, so that we can become good people in future and help our country, so that we can get the food from this sector.
Now to New York, where President William Ruto has called for urgent reforms in the global climate financing in the latest push by Africa for fairer systems to support vulnerable economies. Speaking on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly's Second Africa Climate Summit in New York, Ruto cautioned that expecting 60% of climate finance to come from domestic resources is unjust, especially for countries that have contributed at least to the climate crisis. The head of state also warned against overtaxing small economies that are battling high living costs and climate shocks.
Africa carries, yes, some of the heaviest burdens of climate crisis. Yet within us lies immense hope and solutions for the future. Although in today's global climate, optimism is often in short supply, I remain absolutely confident that Kenya, Africa, and indeed the world can meet this challenge, because we can and we must. The discussions leading up to this meeting highlight what must drive us forward: easing debt pressures, strengthening domestic resource mobilization, unlocking private capital, scaling international public finance, and doing all this through country-led platforms and strategies.
And in other news, Western Police Commander Issa Mohamud has hailed Bungoma police officers for intercepting a criminal gang and recovering stolen items. Among the items recovered was electronic, a TVS motorcycle, and a double cabin packed with ethanol that was parked along the Bungoma-Malaba highway. At least 13 suspects were arrested in the raid and will be arraigned in court. Security agencies have urged the residents to volunteer information that may lead to the arrest of all the suspects.
This also is a syndicate of burglaries and robberies that's coming to an end on this side of Musukova. To appeal to the public to come forward, to come and see the OCS, the DCI team here, so that they're able to possibly identify their properties.
Kitengela town residents are up in arms over the discharge of raw sewer emanating from several rental apartments, which they say are posing a health risk. The agitated residents want public health officers to intervene and connect the rental houses to the main sewer lines. Vehicles using feeder roads that have also been affected by the discharge are also calling for urgent intervention and accountability of landlords found violating the law.
Ile masaa wanavopambu hii maji yao hii ya sea line wanaipambu, alafu tunashindwa kufanya kazi zetu mpaka barabara maji inajaa kwa barabara, mpaka malori zetu zinatuletea material kutoka huko ndani ya pori haziwezi kupita hapa.
Hiyo uchafu ni sewage inarilisiwa kutoka kwa hizi manyumba hapa hivi, na inakuwa na shida sana wakati tunapita pale, kwa sababu huoni mahali unakanyanga gari inaweza haribika.
Utupatie hiyo 14 days. Sawa? Umevumilia ya kutosha, and we feel your cry.
Parents from Kuru slums are now seeking government intervention over the lack of public schools in the area that has disadvantaged many vulnerable children. Students from the area have been unable to access schools due to high school fees charged by private schools. The prevailing situation has seen some students resort to drug abuse and crime. The area residents are now demanding the construction of more public schools, stating that there are only 2 public schools in Mukuru and 7 public schools in the entire Embakasi South, a number that cannot serve the high number of children in the area.
Pia mimi ni mziza, mimi ni mzazi. Kuna wase wako sawa na shule ya community na kuna wase wako sawa na shule ya private. Sawa, ni starehe ya mzazi. Hapo hivyo najua kila msee anajiamulia, lakini at least hizi shule zote zikuwe na balance bana.
Kazi yangu iko chini sana, siwezi mambo ya private. Sasa shule ya serikali ziko tu 2 Njenga na MCC ndio ziko, but zingine mingi ni za private.
Mmoja wa shule ya Embakasi Girls, hapo nyuma hiyo shule ilikuwa boarding and day school, lakini kulingana na saa hii walimu walikataa hiyo shule ni boarding. Imefanya watoto wengi wameacha shule, kama wasichana wengi wameoleka, wengi wameingia kwa mambo mabaya, kwa maana wazazi hawana pesa ya kupeleka mtoto boarding.
Masomo imekuwa gali kwa wanafunzi wa Mukuru afanye kitu. Na kufanya kitu ni kwamba zile shamba ambazo wa earmarked for primary schools, public schools zirudishwe. Na tulishare mpaka hiyo PDP ambayo ni original plan ikionyesha zile sehemu ambazo zinafaa ziwekwe shule.
Community leaders in Mrima Wandege, Ganze constituency in Kilifi County are calling on the government to include elderly individuals in the special interest group under the Social Health Authority SHA. The elders sheltering in Gondoma Forest fled their homes after facing threats and accusations of witchcraft and continue to endure severe challenges including insecurity, poor living conditions and lack of access to healthcare. Speaking to the press after the elders received free medical checkups provided by local leaders, stressed the urgent need for the government's intervention. The philanthropist Dr. Margaret Mwashiro, who sponsored the medical outreach, emphasized the importance of supporting elderly citizens who are often unjustly targeted in witchcraft-related violence.
Ama mwendo mrefu hawawezi na hawana kitu, ambapo sasa mtu akigonjeka hapa itakuwa ni vigumu sisi kumsaidia, ila serikali inaweza kumsaidia.
Ningepongeza rais wetu wa Kenya kwa ajili ya mradi wa SHA, nami nikimpongeza vile, nami namuomba tena aweze kuweka kipengele cha hawa wazee waliotengwa mahali hapa wawe katika zile special groups ambazo amelaunch juzi, ili iwe taifa la Kenya linaweza walipia wazee.
Hapa kuna wazee ambao wamekuwa rescued kutoka mahali mbalimbali ndani ya hii Kilifi County. Kuna watu kutoka Kauma wako hapa, Kaloleni na maeneo mengine. Hasa hawa watu kama itakuwa vizuri waje waorodheshwe katika SHA, ili kama ni wagonjwa waende wakapate matibabu kwa rahisi zaidi.
Education experts and leaders have called on the government to identify and nurture children's talents from an early age, saying untapped potential risks being losing it if not supported. Speaking in Ruiru during the launch of the Royal Stars Volleyball Academy, which has enrolled 25 children for professional training, the stakeholders emphasized that early talent development can transform lives and uplift the country. The stakeholders called on the government to introduce scholarships for talented children to ease financial pressure on families and inspire excellence.
Gym or training facilities for the children. If you come to a place like Ruiru, we really don't have facilities that we can sing home about. We only improvise. Even these children, for them to be able to come for training, it has really taken the well-wishers.
We hoped that the government would not appear to be discriminative. It should support all young people, all sports, and the Ministry of Sports should go out and realize that we can have a lot of growth, a lot of revenue in this country. We can actually make Kenya a hub for sports.
Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku has been faulted for allegedly misusing public resources to advance political interests in the upcoming Mbeere North by-election. Chama cha Kazi candidate Duncan Mbui is the latest to join the fray of those accusing Ruku of engaging in campaigns for the United Democratic Alliance UDA party candidate ahead of the mini polls. According to Mbui, for the past week, Ruku has been transversing Mbeere North with choppers and fleets of fuel-guzzling vehicles under the guise of bringing services to the people, only to engage in campaigns.
Sisi tunajua rasilimali ya serikali ifai kutumiwa kufanya kampeni ya mtu binafsi. Na tunakuambia hivi, Mheshimiwa Ruku, mimi sio wewe candidate. Niwachie huyo candidate wa UDA ni nyoroshe sawasawa. Na wewe uende mahali unataka kwenda.
So the commissioning of the Kangu Kangu water project in Mutomo in Kitui South is expected to ease the search of water for its residents. Kitui Governor Dr. Julius Malombe says the over 800 million shilling Kangu Kangu water project in Kitui South will ensure access to the commodity by over 100 households in the area. The project, co-funded by the Kitui County Government and the World Vision Kenya, will serve 100 households through the extension pipeline stretching more than 100 kilometers from River Athi. Speaking during the handover of the Mutomo Kitui Governor, Dr. Julius Malombe said that the project will reduce the cost of water from the initial 50 shillings to 5 shillings per 20-litre jerrycan.
The scheme is designed to serve over 100,000 people, that is 20,000 households, and an household in Kitui at an average of 5 people, including commercial centers. My government will continue working closely with the national government as well as with donors and development partners to accelerate the development of water infrastructure across the entire county for sustainable provision of accessible, clean, safe and affordable water for the people of Kitui County.
Let me take this opportunity as a Member of Parliament for Kitui South to express my gratitude to an NGO that has served this Kitui South constituency very well, Mutomo Sub-County, Ebola Sub-County. We will forever be grateful for this project.
Border riders and the Sabaki Riders Sacco in Magarini constituency staged a peaceful protest accusing the area MCA Rose Baraka of neglect and dishonesty over unfulfilled promises. During the demonstration held at Kwadomo grounds, the riders expressed dissatisfaction, warning that if MCAs does not deliver, they may push for a vote of no confidence, saying they will not relent in demanding accountability from their MCA until all pledges are fulfilled.
Kuna chochote chenye mama ametutengenezea kulingana na venye alituahidi. Malalamiko yetu ama ishu zetu ni wakati yeye alituahidi ile milioni akasema ametuwekea tayari ile milioni. Sawa, hatukatai amesema hivyo. Lakini kwenye akaunti yetu ile milioni haijaridi.
Hiyo pesa kidogo imechelewa, si ndio? Lakini sasa baadaye nilikuja nikaona mawaziri kule Nino County wakanyambia muandike proposal ya hiyo milioni moja, zile vitu ambazo mnataka. Hiyo pesa haitolewi cash, ni mtafute project yenye mtafanya.
And away from politics, Siaya Governor James Orengo has called for thorough investigations into a recruitment scandal that saw the county recruit over 300% of approved slots for the health workers. Subsequently, at least 382 health workers of those recruited were sacked, sparking tensions between union officials, the affected workers and the county. This even as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC launched investigations into the saga. Achola Simon with the details.
Operations at the Siaya County Assembly was paralyzed for the better part of Monday as sacked health workers stormed the assembly precincts to demand for justice. At least 382 workers fraudulently recruited recently staged a demonstration even as the governor of the county called for thorough investigations into the scandal.
County government itself issued us appointment letters, deployment instructions, and supervised our work in health facilities for 8 months without pay. We were accountable to in-charges, kept attendances, and served the public diligently. To now brand us ghost workers is not only dishonest, but also an insult to the sacrifices we made.
Matter of investigating all these shenanigans, it should start with 181, 120, 36. You see? Yeah, the deployment started in 2022. The same package is there. The last, actually the advert was in 2023. That is what we are deployed for.
According to the recruitment advertisement, the county had intended to recruit just about 150 new health workers, but in a well-calculated fraud scheme that sought to exploit the vulnerability of job seekers, the County Public Service Board recruited about 500 new staff. The figure way above the sanctioned limit and beyond the capacity of the county to pay.
382 did not have letters that originated from this board. 382. That leaves with 120. Of this 120, these 120 were recruited during the regular recruitment process. So as they were reporting, some people took advantage of that process and started generating letters that were not very authentic. So when these 120 were reporting, these people also reporting with them.
The protesters are said to have paid colossal sums of money to secure non-existent slots. Governor James Orengo called for thorough investigations that would involve lifestyle audits for those involved in the saga.
I urge them all, and that is the County Assembly and agencies of the criminal justice system, to carry out thorough investigations and expose this scam for what it is. It would also be necessary to conduct lifestyle audits on some of the individuals who could eventually become persons of interest. Those found responsible and liable must be punished for this callous and criminal enterprise.
EACC Nyanza Regional Manager Abraham Kimboi confirmed the commission had commenced investigations into the scandal. He called on those duped into buying non-existent slots to record statements and aid investigations.
Some daring Kenyans attempted to sneak in, those employees who have not been regularly recruited. The commission will take appropriate action. Those ones who engineered this scam will be sanctioned, and we hope in the end the amount of pain that they have caused to our brothers our sisters, they will face commensurate consequences.
Achola Simon, Lunchtime News, Kisumu County.
The national government is set to begin construction of a referral hospital in Lodiani, Kericho County, following the demarcation of 100 acres of land by the county government. The construction of the hospital had initially run into headwinds, with a section of leaders differing over the location of the hospital. This was, however, resolved following a public participation exercise. The facility will benefit residents from Kipkelion East and Kipkelion West.
Today, we were given solid assurance by the majority leader, our Honorable Senator Aaron Cheruiyot, and the area MP, that the referral is on the way. It will be lined any time now.
Tumekuwa na mahangaiko na kuhangaika kwa hii maneno, tulikuwa tunasikia ati referral limeenda ama iko, lakini leo tumehakikishiwa ya kwamba hii referral ya Londiani itachengwa katika uwanja wa Londiani.
Isiolo County government is seeking approval to reintroduce rhinos into its game reserves 4 decades after the animals were wiped out as a result of poaching. Leaders say the move will boost tourism, improve security in conservation areas, and create economic benefits for local communities. Further, it will create jobs and support community livelihoods. The county has pledged to collaborate with the Kenya Wildlife Service KWS and other partners to ensure the safety of the rhinos.
The introduction of rhino to Shaba could do more than restore the nature. It would, one, diversify Isiolo's tourism product, making us a premier conservation destination. Number two, it would create jobs for our young people, tour guides, rangers, cultural performers, and also artisans and entrepreneurs.
Tunataka muongee na watu ya Samburu, watu ya Laikipia, na watu ya Meru. Muone vile vifaru zitakuja Isiolo, ndio isaidie venye umesema, isaidie utalii, isaidie security. Inajulikana mahali kuna vifaru, kuna security.
Now, the Migori County Health Department has unveiled a robust healthcare improvement strategy aimed at enhancing the quality and efficiency of services across its health facilities. This program aims at enhancing seamless coordination and management of health facilities, ensuring that services such as outpatient and inpatient care, emergency services, maternal and chronic disease management are accessible to all. The program also targets adolescents by equipping them with accurate information and access to services related to family planning and prevention of teenage pregnancies.
We just want to supervise and see whether the work is going on well, whether we have commodities, and whether the community is making use of this facility. And truly we've seen the community is using the facility.
All of us should register for SHA. We do, services are available, but also patients should register. The government has taken its part. The community members of the patient should also take part. So I rove around to a pioneer girls whereby they need, I can talk to them, give services if at all there's consent. If not, giving information also is power. So we would say in Bore community, teen pregnancy is not that much, but the teen pregnancies are also there.
Several street lights have been erected at the Amalemba Informal Settlement Scheme in Kakamega County, courtesy of the Kenya Informal Settlements Improvement Project. Among the projects being undertaken and the tarmacking of roads within the scheme, a move that will help improve livelihoods and enhance security in the area. Residents say cases of theft and attacks have gone down since the installation of the street and floodlights. Similar upgrades are also ongoing in other informal settlements, including Kambi Somali in Kakamega Town, where sewer lines and roads are being upgraded to bitumen standards.
KISIP, we are doing roadworks, which we have already done, which is 100% completed, 90% would say. We have done drainage works, we have done street light, which are solar powered, which are already installed and the community are already enjoying. We have also installed one number high mast, which is already connected to Kenya Power and is already serving the community.
Kitambo hatukukuwa na barabara, hatukukuwa na stima. Udini umekuwa wingi, wizi ulikuwa wingi. Watu walikuwa wanarepiwa kwa sababu ni giza na hamna barabara, ilikuwa msituni. Lakini kwa vile mradi umekuja umetusaidia, tumepata barabara, tumepata hata stima.
Nashukuru sana serikali ya Kenya, apart from serikali, the World Bank at most, kwa kutukumbuka, wametutengenezea barabara, wame open up the area, at least pia security imekuwa enhanced, juu barabara zinapitika. Apart from barabara, wanafunzi wapati wakati mgumu kwenda shuleni. Wame improve sewerage system yetu pia, iko sawa. Apart from hiyo, maji inafika kwa maboma kwa njia rahisi.
26 minutes past the hour. That takes us to a first breather on KBC's Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. Business and sports is up next.
We are shining the spotlight on the women who are shaping the Kenya's film and theatre industry.
My birth was a performance in itself.
Oh, girl.
I would put skits,
yes,
you know, and I was the character, the actor in all the skits. I was the mother, I was the father, I was the brother, I was the sister, I was the house girl, I was everybody.
I don't think there's any actor whose parents have forced them to be actors.
Of course.
Like, you must be an actor, forget about being a doctor, be an actor.
When you walk into a room, first of all, people judge you and they want to see, are you creative enough? And then the next thing is, if you're in a leadership role, can you lead?
Because at times people think it's the relationship with that woman that will give you the job. You show them, no, bring me the skills, and I will tell you whether you can work with me or not.
You can't expect everything to just be served to you on a silver platter. This industry needs people to be hardworking.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
The world of governance is vast and can be alien to the ordinary man on the street. Critical issues are going to be discussed. From white papers to policy positions, it is easier to get lost in the labyrinth of words.
Inside Government takes you to key global metropolis where critical decisions are made and where policies are crafted.
We interview policymakers and senior government officials to highlight and enumerate government policies and projects. We take a deep dive into the underbelly of complex red tape to demystify policies across the country, across the world. Join me, O'Brien Kimani, on Inside Government, only on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, Kakrao Technical and Vocational College have embarked on a cleanup exercise in Migori town as part of activities to mark World Cleanup Month. The initiative is aimed at raising awareness on the need to recycle textile waste and promote fashion. The institution's principal, Barclays Odhiambo, encouraged players in the textile industry to innovate and reuse the waste. He noted that the country is producing 2 million tons of textile waste that can be recycled to improve our lives, conserve the environment and generate income.
The theme of the day is tackling textile and fashion waste through circular fashion. Circular fashion, that means we are supposed to reduce waste from clothing. People do a lot of textile work. Clothes are done and the small pieces can be used to maybe beautify our t-shirts which are torn, and also to learn how to take them back for recycling.
To sensitize the community through community action and sensitization, and also individual action to take part in the recycling process, and also reducing and also reuse of textile waste for us to ensure that our environment is sustainable.
Cleaning will also be impactful and also help us to reduce the infectious diseases contamination through conserving our environment.
Now to a special feature this afternoon. Drinking raw livestock blood mixed with milk was a common practice among nomadic communities, as it was believed to have essential health nutrients for a woman after delivery. The practice, however, is slowly fading away owing to increasing awareness of the health risk, modern lifestyle and an alternative, conventional medicine. Our reporter Leila Swadek looks at this paradigm shift in the bloodlines of motherhood news feature.
In the sun-baked plains of Boruharo, deep in the heart of Marsabit County, a quiet ritual is underway. Blood from a cow or goat is mixed with milk and given to women who are expectant and also after delivery. This, they believe, will improve their health.
They used to eat well. They could eat meat and drink the blood.
Drinking livestock blood during pregnancy is more than a tradition. It's a lifeline for many women, woven into the understanding of health, strength, and motherhood. Lokudika, a 26-year-old mother of 2 and now 7 months pregnant, is an adherent of this practice.
When you return home after giving birth, you're given the blood mixed with milk. It helps to clean your stomach and purge the waste.
For long, livestock blood is believed to fortify the health of expectant mothers, replenishing their strength.
Before drinking blood, you're not supposed to do house chores. Drinking this blood makes one healthier.
The drink is usually given to a pregnant woman in the evening.
You drink this blood at night because it makes you dizzy. But the next day, you are fine and you can go about fetching water, firewood, and do house chores.
However, some women experience harmful side effects from drinking this concoction.
If you drink this concoction when you are pregnant, it can make the baby grow bigger and even overweight.
You feel dizziness, then you sleep.
Blood will not give you instant energy like carbohydrate would do. That's why you will feel dizziness because of inadequate supply of oxygen to the brain.
Nutritionist Steve Odhiambo warns of more serious risks in drinking raw blood from animals.
There are zoonotic diseases, those are diseases that can be transmitted from animal to human beings. So taking raw blood is high risk of that woman and the growing baby to contact such diseases.
Harmful products ingested by the animal can also find their way into its blood, posing danger to a mother's or baby's vital organs.
This animal may have contaminated the cells, maybe through taking feeds, through taking water, which contain the heavy metals like arsenic, like lead, like mercury, like cadmium, and all that. So if this reaches to the bloodstream or the system of human being, it can really bring a bad effect to the baby and even to the mother.
Medics therefore recommend iron supplements for pregnant women.
During delivery, a woman tends to lose a lot of blood, and there is need for replacement of this blood for the healthy postpartum practices. Like breastfeeding also need when your blood is normal. So there is need for medication, supplementation, and good nutrition postpartum.
This is gradually being embraced.
My last born prefers going to the hospital instead of taking this concussion. But even where iron supplements are availed, there are those die-hard traditionalists like Loco who are still adamant on taking the blood and milk concussion.
When we go to hospital, we do not confess to the doctor that we prefer this concussion to the medicine they give us.
Blood, we said, we are viewing it as a source of nutrient, like a source of food. We are not viewing it as medication.
Could this be remedied by fusing both tradition and modern medicine?
The health professionals who have scientific background and scientific knowledge about blood and its use are supposed to coordinate with the community, the tradition knowledge, so that we can produce a one and something that is safe for the mother and for the baby. This will start maybe from the animal health all the way to production, and then the meal is put, which can be a healthy meal.
For KBC Channel 1, my name is Leila Swadik.
Here's the latest in business. A Kenyan firm has pioneered a mobile app that turns any near-field communication-enabled smartphone into a secure point-of-sale device, the same technology that powers tap-to-pay cards. The app that mainly targets tourists and Kenyans in the diaspora visiting the country allows a direct cashless payment. CEO Kamal says that the launch targets the full cashless transaction. According to the Central Bank of Kenya, card payments rose to 538.5 billion shillings in 2024, reflecting a growing presence or preference for digital-first consumer behavior.
Across Africa, across the world actually, of different payment methods. For the customer and for the merchant, it's just a matter of ease, ubiquity, convenience, of course, economics, and security.
Our target market is emerging markets globally.
Because you are now integrated into the ecosystem that is everywhere, which is mobile money. So this is a really critical step in the way forward, because it allows the rest of the world, as our colleague from MasterCard said, it allows these 3 billion card holders to be able to buy things in Kenya.
Also, governments in the Horn of Africa are turning to agri-tech and data-driven solutions to combat the region's ongoing threat from desert locusts, which have caused over 1.3 billion in agricultural losses since 2019. Kenya's Agriculture Principal Secretary, Dr. Kiprono Rono, says the shift from emergency pesticide spraying to tech-enabled surveillance is creating new opportunities for startups, drone service providers, and AI-based focusing platforms across East Africa's $100 billion agriculture sector. The World Bank is funding capacity building and digital infrastructure under its emergency locust response program, signaling growing interest in public-private partnerships to boost food security and agricultural resilience. You will again access to the Kenya Wildlife Service managed national parks, reserves and sanctuaries free of charge this Saturday, the 27th of September 2025, as part of the celebration of the United Nations World Tourism Day. Tourism Cabinet Secretary, that is Rebecca Miano, is urging Kenyans to take advantage of the free access to the iconic spaces and reconnect with the country's rich wildlife heritage.
For the second year in a row, Kenyan citizens will have an opportunity to visit all national parks, national reserves and sanctuaries managed by Kenya Wildlife Service free of charge. This is after the government announced free entry to these spaces this Saturday, the 27th of September 2025. In a statement, Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano says the decision was made to honor this year's World Tourism Day. The United Nations World Tourism Day is marked annually on September 27th and serves as a platform to promote responsible and sustainable tourism globally. Miano says by opening the gates to these iconic spaces, we want to inspire Kenyans to protect and value our natural treasures for generations to come. The initiative is designed to reconnect Kenyans with their country's rich wildlife heritage while fostering appreciation of biodiversity and a deeper commitment to conservation. The public is encouraged to make the most of this opportunity to explore and learn more about Kenya's unique landscapes and wildlife, which remain not only a source of national pride, but also part of the world's heritage. Wairi Mujenga for Lunchtime News.
And why not take advantage of that particular opportunity as the parks are free? You want to see those iconic wildlife animals. Now, elsewhere, market for Kenyan product has been enhanced following the launch of the Africa Trade Gateway digital platform that is designed to support compliance, matchmaking and secure transactions for businesses across the continent. MSME's Development Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya says the new platform will reduce cross-border trade risks for Kenyan traders.
Kenya's digital economy is projected to contribute 662 billion shillings to gross domestic product by 2028, spurred by strategic policy reforms and powered by key sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, transport and trade. The newly launched Africa Trade Gateway is projected to deepen this transformation by helping businesses to settle payments securely in local currencies and build verified partnerships to reduce the risk of cross-border trade.
ATG breaks down borders, enabling MSMEs and cooperatives to connect directly with continental buyers and suppliers, ensuring that Kenya's farmers, artisans, and small manufacturers can reach wider, more lucrative markets.
Oparanya says the government is working closely with the private sector to accelerate regional integration under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
ATG, we now have the means to turn potential into performance and promise into prosperity.
The ATG platform is an ecosystem that we are now providing to traders, corporates, financial institutions, so as to facilitate trade across the borders. And this is the main purpose of us activating the ATG platform in Kenya.
We could be having very good products. Like, I don't know how many people know that we have fish, very sweet fish in Turkana. We don't know how many people know that we feed the nation in Nyandarua with our potatoes. This is the information that now will be shared across the globe.
Real Sources Africa is acting as the official partner or agent for Afreximbank across East Africa. And our main role as Real Sources is to support onboarding, structuring of transactions, and making sure that every trader who's on board on the platform is able to trade comfortably, consistently, and efficiently.
Trevor Ngendo for Lunchtime News.
Now, Kenyan corporate entities are being urged to use their expertise, network infrastructure and resources to invest more into startups. Victoria Ventures co-founder Stephen Gugu says Kenyan corporates shy away from long-term non-core business ventures.
Established corporations investing their own funds in startups and emerging companies, usually in the form of equity, or in other words, corporate venture capital, is reported to be low in Kenya compared to other countries such as the US and regions like Europe and Asia. Experts are now saying to grow this practice in Kenya, there has to be a change in the relationship between local corporates and startups.
While these might be you're making an investment today and you may not see the return tomorrow, the reality is that if you're able to create startups, if you're able to fund our own startups in the ecosystem, what happens is that over a period of time, we're able to address some key challenges within our ecosystem. We're also able to create jobs.
Most of the times when you find startups approaching investors, it's almost a very cold-facing engagement, having been a failed founder myself and pitched countless times.
Some Kenyan corporate firms have been engaged in these activities, making up just a drop of what experts say the Kenyan corporate sector is capable of.
What are some of the successful stories around those corporate ventures? Because we know they do exist, but not at a bigger scale. But if we have to really make make a difference in the ecosystem, then we have to inspire other corporates to join in.
They were speaking at the launch of the 2025 Corporate Venture Capital Report, where it emerged that enactment of policies that incentivize corporate venturing and government support through relevant ministries are key.
So unveiling the report was quite intriguing, capturing some of the most important insights about what sort of motivates corporates to venture into supporting startups.
Alan Oko, Lunchtime News.
On the international front, German car maker Porsche stock tumbled by more than 7% on Monday after warning last week that delays in its electric vehicle rollout will dent the company's 2025 earnings. Caught between electrification and its iconic petrol-powered sports cars, the German firm said it will slow its push for EVs as demand weakens. Details of this and other stories making headlines around the globe.
Porsche has said in a statement that it has reduced its projected profit margin from up to 7% to 2% or less. It cited the U.S. import tariffs, the decline in the Chinese luxury market, and the slowdown in the ramp-up of electric mobility among its challenges. The company also said it would delay the launch of its newest EVs and that it will extend production of combustion engine models, even as the European market faces a 2035 deadline to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars. The company's struggles reflect the challenges for European manufacturers who are faced with intense competition from Chinese rivals and a slowing economy that's dampening demand for luxury cars. Meanwhile, U.S. tech giant NVIDIA will invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI, the firm behind ChatGPT. NVIDIA said it will supply high-performance chips needed for the processing power required by artificial intelligence, AI, of which OpenAI is a specialist. As a strategic partnership by NVIDIA, it is the latest move by two high-profile tech firms in the global AI race where China is an emerging rival. The announcement comes after a series of high-profile investment by NVIDIA, including a $5 billion investment in Intel and £2 billion investment in the UK's AI sector. Finally, TikTok algorithm, the technology that determines what users see in their feed, will be copied and retained using US user data as part of a deal to secure the app's future in the country. A White House official said on Monday that TikTok's recommendation system will be audited by tech giant Oracle and operated by a new joint venture involving US investors in order to meet requirements for the app's sales. It comes after President Donald Trump said a deal to prevent the app's ban in the US, unless sold by its Chinese parent company ByteDance, had been reached with China's approval.
And now finally, let's play. African 60 kg youth and junior weightlifting champion Joshua Munga says he will focus on regaining his strength in his quest for a gold medal in the upcoming World Weightlifting Championship, which will be held in Norway from the 2nd to the 10th of October this year.
The outstanding player will be representing Kenya for the third time after featuring in the 2022 championship in Colombia and the 2023 edition, which was held in Arabia.
I think niko na 6 years in weightlifting. This is my 6th year. Yeah, my coach ndo aliniintroduce na nikakuja kugain interest in it. Mpaka sasa hii nasikia tu nimeipenda.
Amunga, who will feature in the under 66 category, intensified his training at the Pumwani Sports Grounds gym with his teammates, will be representing the country in Norway.
He could train too hard, so because most people wanna train and kufikia pesa yenye wasio wako kama hao wenye wamehold ma record sahi si rahisi, so inafaa to train hard because pia mimi niko na dream ya siku moja ku hold record.
During the previous edition of the World Championship, Kenya fielded 2 athletes who were ranked among the top 10. The team for this year's championship is scheduled to leave the country on the 30th of this month. Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
And we wish them all the best as they represent our country. Now, Samburu County Government Executive Committee member for Sports, Evelyn Lentano, has urged youth in the county to embrace and explore sports as an alternative way of fending for their livelihoods. Now, Lentano, who spoke at the Kenyatta Stadium in Maralal during their cross-country championship, called on the youth to engage in sports, saying it offered them an avenue to earn a living. Now, the chairman of the Athletics Kenya North Rift branch, Boniface Tirem, revealed that the cross-country championship sought to reinforce cohesion and peaceful coexistence and also acted as a platform for upcoming runners to showcase their talents.
Pia ina faida na inatumika kupata fedha mahali, unaweza participate uko nje na ufaulu na upate pesa. Pesa iko peke yake kwa kuiba ama kwa kuiba mali mifuko, so ninawahimiza wajitokeze.
Itasaidia vijana wetu wabadilishe mawazo, ikiwa kama wamekuwa wakipata mali kwa njia sio mzuri, nafikiria wakiona faida ya riadha watabadilika.
Ama michezo ulete uwiano na watu, ulete ile kitu inaitwa kwa Kiingereza interaction. Wasamburu wana interact na Waturkana, wana interact na watu wa Elgeyo Marakwet na watu wa Trans Nzoia, na wanabadilisha maoni. Na kitu ya kwanza, njia moja ambayo tungependa kubadilisha ama kupitia mbio kubadilisha mawazo ya watu wetu ni kwanza kufanya ile inaitwa disarming the mind, ya kwamba it's not about animals, it is about sports ambayo inaleta watu pamoja.
The national women's under-20 soccer team head coach Jacqueline Juma is confident of guiding the team past Ethiopia in their second round of the 2026 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers scheduled on Sunday at Ulinzi Sports Complex in Nairobi County. Kenya arrived back home on Monday evening and are currently at camp, of course, preparing themselves ahead of this return leg. The two teams battled to a draw during the first leg clash held last Sunday in Addis Ababa, and coach Jacqueline will be eyeing a win in their reverse fixture so as to advance to the third round. A win for the Rising Starlets will see them through to the third round, where they could face either Angola or Tanzania. At the conclusion of the third round fixtures, 8 teams will progress to the fourth and final round of qualifiers, where top 4 teams will eventually earn slots at the 12th edition of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, which will be held in Poland from the 2nd to the 27th of September 2026. And now to a rememberable night in Paris. France striker Ousmane Dembélé won the Ballon d'Or for the first time during the 2026 award ceremony in Paris, as Barcelona's Aitana Bonmati won the women's trophy for the third time. The Paris Saint-Germain striker, who was overcome with emotion, confirmed that the best striker on this planet hails from the mighty Ghana's corners. Also, congratulations to our Arsenal women for taking the Women's Club of the Year award. That concludes our bulletin this afternoon. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Caroline Njoroge. Good afternoon for now.
Want to enjoy free-to-air digital TV with crystal clear quality? Here's how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. Next, connect the aerial to your TV. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770 572 656.
It's art, it's culture, it's fun, it's attitude.
As you can see with me, I have this handkerchief. And is it really a handkerchief or is it?
My name is Kevin Kasioki. Please join me each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
What's up? What's up? How are you doing? It is another Monday, and we are more than excited to be here to ensure that we bring you the best of the best on Matters Entertainment. I'm a VP.
That's what's up, man. Brand new Monday, brand new energy. That is what you need, man.
That is how we do it right here. And before we get into the nitty-gritties of the show, there's something Mula I've seen online, and I would love for us to talk about it kidogo.
Let's talk about it.
So there's this very known promoter who talked about this time round when she's calling DJs for gigs, even in the clubs, she's only going to be getting DJs who have a crowd.
Come on.
DJs who can pull a crowd. And there was a conversation. Yoni kazi ya DJ kweli?
You know, Miss P, when we talk about club setup, tuko na DJ, hype man, alafu tuko na club hosts na promoters, Now we want to know, job ya club hosts na promoters ni gani? You see, I think these people, they need to mobilize guys.
That's the work they should be doing.
Yeah, they need to mobilize.
Watu wanakuja.
Wafanye marketing fiti, and then watu wakam kwa club. Job ya DJ na hype man ni to maintain that crowd.
Exactly. It's to ensure that wale ambao wameshaingia wako hapa, hawaendi nyumbani mapema, au ni kuleta vibe. That's the work of the DJ. But now if you say that the DJ should be bringing the crowd, I don't know, but you guys can let us know what your thoughts are on that. You can find us at Vivian Degwa, at Jack Mula, or at KBC Channel 1. How about now we get into the business of the day, which is events. And we got to cover several of them. You definitely want to stay tuned for that. My name is Vivian Degwa. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jack Mula, the party daddy, or you can call me Papi.
And you know what this right here is?
Divine.
What you gotta
do? Last week, Alliance Francaise was nothing short of magical. From Tokyo to Siaya, the journey of culture and sound came alive as Anyango Nyasiaya, the queen of Nyatiti, brought the house down with a mastery of the 8th string. Let's check it out.
It was an evening aptly dubbed celebrating the Nyatiti. At the heart of it all was Eriko Mukoyama, better known as Anyango Nyarsiaya, a woman whose journey from Tokyo to Siaya made her the first Japanese to mastering the string Nyatiti.
Anyango is a very interesting musician. Anyango is a lady who was born in Japan, but she grew up in Siaya. So all through that time when she was growing up in Kenya, she fell in love with music, She has always been musical. So as she grew into music, because she was also in a band, she thought, let me go solo. And then she fell in love with this instrument that was a taboo for women to play in the Luo tradition. But she didn't give up, she persisted. And that is why we come to celebrate her, for her boldness, for her confidence, for pushing on all these generational curses and paving way for not only African women, but women across the world.
The event began with the launch of her book, but soon turned into a true celebration of rhythm, culture, and connection. Legendary Nyatiti maestro Makadem lit up the stage first. His performance of favorites like Koblogi